We start the show with breaking news out of Aurora. A Cherry Creek Elementary School had to be put on brief lockdown earlier this morning after a student brought a gun to school. Thanks for joining me for 9 News at Noon. I'm Sam Shocker, and this happened at Arrowhead Elementary. Aurora police say students tipped off faculty that another student had a gun. When officers did show up, they isolated the student and did find a handgun inside their backpack. Police say early investigations show the student didn't have any malicious intent or threats to anyone else. The district says all safety procedures were followed and the school lifted the lockdown, returning to normal operations. All students and staff are thankfully safe. And right now we're taking a look over Denver from the 9 News station. Another beautiful day on tap, but sorry about it. That's likely going to change tonight. Joining me now, there she is, Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Keely, I hear people should get outside today because the weather's taking a turn soon.
Absolutely. We're going to get rain starting tonight. We will get a break in the rain tomorrow, but yeah, we are in store for a wet weekend ahead. Not just rain, we're also talking about snow. Certainly going to get snow in the higher elevations, and it looks like we'll get a little bit of slushy snow even down at the lower elevations tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Trace to an inch, not impactful by any means, but always interesting to see after a stretch of warm weather. Right now we're at 71 degrees at DIA, winds out of the west-southwest 8 miles per hour. Current temperatures, mainly 70s, some low 80s down across the southeast corner of the state. Clouds increase today. We're going to make it up to 77 degrees. Not quite record territory, a record 83 that was set back in 1963, but we'll get up there into the 70s. Clouds, though, increasing. That's going to keep us a few degrees cooler than I initially thought, making it down to the 60s by 7 o'clock, but still a very nice night. We are starting to see that moisture move in from some disturbances to our west, but still going to be warm. That tops our weather headlines for today. Showers move in tonight after about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. And yes, we are in store for a cool and wet weekend with both rain and snow. I'll talk more about that snow coming up in your complete forecast in just a bit.
Keely, thank you. An immigrant rights activist from Colorado detained by Immigration and Customs is set to appear in federal court today. ICE detained Jeanette Vizguera last week in the parking lot of the Target where she works, and according to one of her children, since then her deportation has been halted by a federal judge. Following her arrest, her attorney filed a petition saying Vizguera's detention violates her Fifth Amendment right to due process. The filing also acknowledges she's in the U.S. without proper authorization, and Vizguera is set to appear in federal court at 1:30 today. A Southern Colorado jail is facing a lawsuit after a prisoner died from what his family called an act of excessive force, followed by a week of neglect. In March of 2023, Deputy Stuart Pino tased 69-year-old Michael Birch, then tackled him, resulting in no less than 6 broken ribs. Birch was at the Huerfano County Detention Center for threatening a neighbor. His family believes he had dementia. He was in his cell holding a pencil deputies gave him to write things to self-soothe when jail deputies decided to take that pencil away. After Deputy Pino tackled him, the lawsuit claims Birch didn't get the care he needed. He died a week later. Birch's family is now suing the county, the sheriff's department, and each of the deputies involved, along with the hospital district, the EMTs, and the private group providing medical services to the jail. Through attorneys and spokespeople, all the defendants denied comment for this story. We now know the name of a man whose Tesla burst into flames after slamming into multiple cars in Aurora earlier this week. The Arapahoe County coroner identified him as 26-year-old Rohan Biswas. Police say an officer clocked him going nearly 100 miles per hour Monday night before he crashed at the intersection of Buckley and Alameda. 6 people were hurt. All are expected to be okay. Commerce City Police are asking for help tracking down a person involved in what they call a bizarre and violent crime near Rose Hill Grange Park. Officers say the van you see on your screen followed a man riding an ATV, and at some point, police say a second car seemed to intentionally run him over. Both vehicles fled the scene. At this hour, there's only an image of the minivan, but police think the other car might have been a white Ford Pinto or a Maverick. The man hit is expected to recover, and if you know anything, you're asked to call the number on your screen, 303-289-3626. Later today, a bill that would make it more difficult to buy semi-automatic guns is heading back to the Senate floor. Senate Bill 3 has to go back through it again because it looks a lot different than it did the first time that it passed the Senate. The House passed the bill on Monday. It would require a permit and firearm safety training for anyone looking to buy a high-powered gun that's capable of accepting a detachable magazine. It would also ban the purchase and sale of accessories that increase the rate of fire of semi-automatic guns. If the bill passes the Senate again, it will head to Governor Polis's desk, and if he signs it, it will take effect in August of 2026. Just days after Donald Trump's self-proclaimed distorted portrait came down from the walls at our state capitol, and legislators on both sides of the aisle say they don't know when they're going to find a replacement. In a phone call with the Associated Press, a spokesman for Colorado Senate Republicans said, quote, "It's going to be fundraised, who's going to pay for it, who's going to paint it, etc." The original painting is now being stored at History Colorado. The spokesman said it's unlikely to be displayed anywhere else. An Adams 12 school district says they're about to fire 150 people. We'll tell you why after the break. Also ahead, today CU announced that their coach will be sticking around a little longer than they originally expected.